Hi guys, I'm Mark Collier from theopenalgorithm.com, and today I'm going to be talking about another relatively basic SEO topic, and that's when you're starting up or thinking about starting up a new website, whether to go with a blog or a static website, and what are the SEO benefits or both. So first of all, let me explain. A static website is basically your traditional type website. It's where you build a page and you link to it from the home page or a second tier page, and basically it works a bit like a tree. So you'll have your top tier, which is your home page, your second tier, which is maybe your sub pages, and then your third and fourth tiers, which are individual niche content pages. And then you have the blog, which is like as it's described as an online diary, but in reality it's just a website that is constantly updated, is very fresh, very newsy, and that has posts being written all the time. And there's SEO benefits to both, and really what you want to ask yourself is the type of website you're thinking of building. So if you're thinking of building a website that'll have a lot of news, not necessarily news based, but it'll be constantly updated, it'll be a lot of advice maybe, then maybe a blog is well suited to you. Whereas something that is sort of static, that is a long-term thing where content is up there for the long term, it's going to be relevant for a long time, then a static website might be for you. Now there's going to be exceptions to both. I use a blog when I could use a static website for theopenalgorithm.com, but I know that there's ways to get around it. You can mix a blog with a static website. On WordPress you can build pages as well as posts, which means that it's structured like a static website in some parts of your site and it's structured like a blog on other parts of your site. So you can definitely mix both, but just to compare the two off, I would say that it's really about the type of website you're building. And then after that, I would say that there are other SEO benefits to using a blog versus a static website. So in general, a static website won't get the same kind of social media traction, it won't get the same number of links, and you won't have as much of a long-term following. But saying that, static websites, their posts, their content tends to stay in the search results for a longer period of time, for often much higher competition searches or more competitive searches. So there's definitely a trade-off, and I think it definitely is all around the type of website you're building. So really, if you're thinking of setting up a new website, you want to ask yourself, what's my website about? What's the theme? How much am I going to update it? Is this content relevant for the long term? Is it not? And after you answer all those questions and ask yourself really what your website's about, you should be able to figure out whether you want a blog or a static website. And if you're unsure, then I would recommend going with the blog, and then maybe head over to somebody like Yaro Starak at entrepreneurs-journey.com, where he talks a lot about these things called pillar articles, and they're basically the things that act as the static website portion of your site. So if you're unsure, maybe a mix between the two will work well. If you're sure of the type of website you're thinking of building, then go with that. So if it's a more long-term, highly relevant all the time, or at least in a relatively long period of time content, then a static website might work for you. And if you're a social, newsy, flashy, updated, constantly type website, then a static website mightn't work as well for you, and you might want to go for the blog. There's SEO benefits to both. I would say that a blog in general would have the upper hand in terms of SEO as a general SEO and online marketing together. From a long-term SEO point of view, the static website might have the upper hand, but I think the way the world is going and the way the online marketing is going, I would definitely favor a blog. But I think it really just depends on the type of website you're building and the time you're able to put into that website. So I think it's definitely something to consider. I think you should read up on it further. That's just skimming the surface. There are going to be benefits to both, and you just really need to know the type of website you're building before you make that massive decision whether you're going to be a blog or a static website. So I hope that helps. Head over to theopenalgorithm.com for more tips and techniques around SEO, and you can also find all our latest videos there. Thanks for watching.